Henrietta is an orphan that was adopted by mommy Rebecca. But throughout the period that Henrietta lived with mommy Rebecca, she suffered a great deal. And this happens to be the story of Henrietta. Mommy Rebecca had just discovered that Henrietta was pregnant, and she was asking Henrietta who is responsible. And Henrietta pleaded that she was telling the truth, that Emeka happens to be responsible. And Emeka is the man that Mommy Rebecca had sent Henrietta to work for, because all Henrietta does is sweep clean people's houses. That was all that Mommy Rebecca contributed to Henrietta's life. And Mommy Rebecca brought Henrietta to meet with Emeka. And Emeka was not ready to have anything to do with Henrietta. Emeka told Mommy Rebecca that should Henrietta stay with him, Henrietta would suffer a great deal. And Mommy Rebecca left Henrietta. She said to Emeka, do whatever you like, but you must take care of your responsibility. And that was how Henrietta's suffering started. There was nothing that Henrietta ever did that was good enough for Emeka. Emeka treated Henrietta so badly. Henrietta would beg Emeka for food, money to cook food, knowing that, Henrietta was pregnant. Emeka was so mean, very disrespectful, very, treated Henrietta so badly. But there was Mommy Esther. Mommy Esther was a neighbor who saw all that Henrietta was going through. Mommy Esther felt bad for Henrietta. When Emeka goes out, Mommy Esther will come to the house. As it is right now, Henrietta was begging Emeka for food. Emeka opened the fridge, saw that there was nothing left in the fridge, the very little bread that was in the fridge. Emeka felt bad that Henrietta ate it. Henrietta begged Emeka, I'm pregnant. I have been hungry. I've not eaten for days. Please, can you give me some money to buy some food? Emeka retorted back at Henrietta, telling Henrietta to get the hell out of his face. And that was how Henrietta continued to starve. She will cry. She will ask herself what she has ever done. She wishes that her circumstances was different, crying and promising her child that things will be different. Mommy Esther will come, console Henrietta, you know, bring food for Henrietta, tell Henrietta, as in assure Henrietta that everything is going to be okay. On one occasion, Emeka came back home, from a club. When Emeka came back home, Emeka came back with his girlfriend and asked Henrietta to go and cook. And Henrietta was tired because the entire day she has been, doing the house chores, uh, 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 cooking and doing so many things. Henrietta said she was very tired, that she couldn't cook. And Emeka said to Henrietta, you are not here, you know, to enjoy or do anything. If you cannot enter the kitchen this moment and make food for my guests and I, you will have to leave this home with the bastard that you are carrying, the bastard that you call a son. And Emeka's girlfriend sat, crossed her leg as she waited for Henrietta to go make food. And they woke Henrietta up at about 2 a.m. to go and make food. Emeka forced Henrietta when she said she would not go, and Henrietta had to enter the kitchen to make food, even though she was really, really tired. Now, Emeka came. Emeka was very mad at Henrietta. How long will your food take? Emeka got angry, smashed everything, called Henrietta names, and Henrietta cried so much. Henrietta did not even know what to do. Now, The next morning, Emeka brought a full load of clothes, bag of clothes, insisted Henrietta must wash all of those clothes or leave his house. Now, because Henrietta did not know what to do, Henrietta had to wash under the rain, and Mommy Esther saw Henrietta and decided to bring Henrietta back. Now, Mommy Esther insisted Henrietta must get back inside. Emeka was not having it. Emeka wanted Henrietta to stay inside and continue to work. Then Emeka came in with a new guest. This time, Emeka insisted again that he was hungry. Remember, Henrietta had just finished washing clothes and everything, and Henrietta said she was tired, that she's not entering the kitchen. Emeka can punish her. Whatever Emeka wanted to do, Emeka was free to go ahead and do it, but she will not enter the kitchen. And Emeka said, if you will not do as I please, that's the door. Get out of my house. And that was how Henrietta got out into the rain. Mommy Esther, seeing Henrietta, could not bear it. Mommy Esther brought Henrietta in again. Okay, Mommy Esther has always been there for Henrietta. Mommy Esther consoled Henrietta, assuring her that everything was going to be okay. De la Right Henrietta was always there for, Mommy Esther was always there for Henrietta. All the time, she will make food, coffee for Henrietta. And then after that day, Emeka came up with a new dozen of clothes. Wherever Emeka gets this clothes from, nobody knows. All Emeka was trying to do was to maltreat Henrietta so much that Henrietta will run out of the house. Mommy Esther again came to, Henrietta's rescue and went to Emeka, warning Emeka to be careful with the way that Emeka treats Henrietta. That one day, what he is doing to Henrietta will return back to him. Emeka was very mad at Mommy Esther. Emeka, threatened Mommy Esther that Mommy Esther will be pushed out of the estate. Yes, the reason happens to be that Emeka and Mommy Esther, they live in the same estate. They work in the same organization. Now, Mommy Esther had no choice. Mommy Esther had to call Emeka's mother. And Emeka's mother came in. Now, when Emeka's mother came in, Emeka's mother came to Mommy Esther, asking Mommy Esther what is the problem. Mommy Esther narrated everything to Emeka's mother. Emeka's mother was very mad. Why would you treat somebody's child like this? Is this girl carrying your baby or not? And Emeka said, yes, the girl is carrying my baby. And Emeka's mother said, if truly this girl is carrying your child, why would you treat her like this? Emeka's mother was very, very angry. And for the period Emeka's mother was at home, Henrietta was able to rest. Henrietta was able to feed well. As a matter of fact, Emeka's mother was so angry that, neighbors had to come to the house to see what, Henrietta was going through. Then when Emeka's mother left, Emeka started again. Yes, Emeka started again, maltreating Henrietta, and Mommy Esther could not bear it. With the way that Emeka was maltreating Henrietta, Mommy Esther had to call the vigilante, group. When the vigilante came, okay, they saw Emeka, and Emeka was shocked to have seen them. And then when they came, they took Emeka with them. They took Emeka with them. They, treated Emeka the way he ought to have been treated. In fact, they taught Emeka a lesson of his life because Mommy Esther had already told them that if they do nothing about the situation, a pregnant young girl could, die in their community. And that was how they matched Emeka to where they treated Emeka in the way that Emeka deserved to be treated. Now, apart from the way that they treated Emeka, they had to warn Emeka to stay away from maltreating Henrietta